but we need to work together. And so, if part of your fundamental concern is with love of others, that has to be directed in a common way, mutually with others, toward your target of your concern. That's what I would say. And with everybody dropping off saying, I can't, perhaps part of what we understand in leadership is to say, you're right, but we can. And so again, this is Barack Obama's been successful for a very important reason, and what I'm saying here is part of it. When people say, yes, we can, that we is very important. Did you hear what they've been yelling at the Hillary Clinton? This isn't supposed to, I'm not taking a side, but this is important here. At Hillary Clinton's rallies, in response to that, they've been yelling, yes, you can. And think about that for a moment, because that's exactly what's happening in the dynamic of this campaign, is that Hillary ends up, she's standing by herself. I mean, there's people supporting her, that's not what I mean, but I mean, the odds are stacked against her. The Rocky analogy, every time she gives a speech, there's somebody right behind her with big boxing gloves on. You ever notice that? The boxing gloves, the metaphor, Rocky. And I always joke on the TV station that the black guy wanted Rocky. So maybe she's gonna go check her movies. That's funny, come on, that's good. That's good. That sort of sense of community. But again, that requires mutual trust and respect. And it's hard, because you have to let go. You can't hold on to your own power and individualism if you're gonna let others in. It's risky, you're vulnerable, and there's potential for pain. Okay, I think we have time for maybe, two more. Brandon and Mark.
In your leadership class, you talked about challenging people's attitudes, but not their values. And so when it comes to something like anti-intellectualism, how do you deal with that?
Well, I would say anti-intellectualism is not a root value, it's a belief. Right? And so in my classes, I talk about the different levels of consciousness and layers where values are the bedrock. Beliefs are somewhat still subconscious, but above that, where stereotypes reside, for instance. And so every once in a while, you get a taste of them. And then you have attitudes in the conscious level. And so what I say to students is, I would never challenge your values. I would never challenge you, but I'm going to beat the hell out of your beliefs, right? Because I really want you to think about those. Because I think what happens often is we need to examine the dissonance between our values and beliefs. Because there's slippage there, and we try to ignore it. So I would say intellectualism resides usually at the belief level. That is, it's not conscious. But in times like this, for instance, when Barack Obama makes a comment in San Francisco about white working class people being bitter, and this notion of elites come up, who does he think he is? He's smarter than he goes down that fancy San Francisco place talking about us people in Ohio or whatever. Then it rises to consciousness and we can think about it. But the fact of the matter is that it's a stereotype like racial stereotypes or gender stereotypes. We don't like, if you ever notice people that have doctoral degrees, whether they're medical doctors or PhDs or whatever, who run for office, never put that on their signs. You ever notice that? It's very rare to see Dr. So-and-so, because they know that there's anti-intellectualism or anti-elitism out there. What I would try to argue, and this is difficult, is that they're not, while there may be overlap, they're certainly not synonyms. You don't have to be an elite to be an intellectual, right? In fact, you would argue that some of the most elite, or some of the most intellectual movements come from people who were of the masses. I mean, or at least on their behalf, you think of Karl Marx, for instance. So I don't know, I mean, that's tough though, because the expectation is, look, college professor, Mr. Smart Guy, nobody wants that guy around. He's gonna make us all feel stupid. I've heard that about Barack Obama. I don't want that guy, he's gonna make us all feel dumb. I don't want that. Jon Stewart's joked about this a good deal. Hey, let's vote for the smart guy for a change. That's sort of his line. But really, it's intimidating. And again, that going back to that notion I said that I want to be liked and I want to be, I want to be respected and so forth. It's hard to be around people that where you feel. I won't say that make you feel that way because that's a projection. Right? But if I feel a certain way around people, I want to avoid them. Right? I don't want them around me. And the stereotype about intellectuals is I'm going to feel stupid, or they're going to make me feel stupid, or they intend to make me feel stupid. Because they're elites, anti-elitists. Right? Elites is somebody who is elite. Anybody who runs for presidency elite. Elitist is somebody who thinks those people should be running everything. And so it's a different word, but once again, those are used interchangeably during the whole discourse as well. Where am I, man? Is that my cue to get off? Is that music's like, I know, it's like, well, no, it's not like the Academy Awards or something. The music's starting, they gotta hurry up and thank my agents. I think, did you have, yeah?
I'm still dealing with the language.
Good. That's what you're supposed to deal with. That's good.
that much easier to be equitable. I am a debater,
Right.
and I have had to defend on multiple occasions things that I very much disagree with. I've had to argue against labor laws that protect individuals, and I've had to argue against gay marriage and things like that, that I, at the very basis of what I believe is opposed to my ideas. And so, the fact that I have been able to do that is, I think, debate is a very intellectual pursuit. You know, you seem to defend ideas that you don't agree with, to complicate your own understanding of arguments and things of that nature. However, because I'm able to do that, that lends some merit to those arguments, and it makes it that much easier to be like, it's too complicated.
Very good. What you're describing often is a word that's often used in synonymous